Hey, Lucia, when I come over to see your parents this time, it'll just be those two, right? If your little brother is going to be there, I'm trying to figure out what a good gift for him would be.
Alec is around the house most of the week now, so I think he'll be here when you come. All three of them enjoy sweet food, so maybe do something like a pie or cake for all of them to eat.
Wait, you're telling me that Alec is over at their house most of the time? Does he live with them now? I could have sworn that he was living closer to the company he works for all by himself now.
Did I not tell you about this earlier? Right now, Alec is working on his own and has his own business that he runs. So he's been living with my parents this whole time, doing his own work and everything.
He runs his own business now? That's amazing. What kind of work does he have to do then for his business? And actually, where did he even graduate from, in what field? Is he from Harvard or something? Being able to run his own business at his age already must mean that he has a pretty good head on him, right?
I believe he's working in financing at the moment. But to tell you the truth about him, he never actually graduated with a degree or anything.
What? He never even graduated from a university of any kind, yet he has a business of his own that he runs. That would mean he has his own company, but only with a high school diploma. Alec must have really worked his butt off to get into a position like that, then.
Well, actually, Alec hasn't even graduated from high school. There was a lot going on for him at the time, so he dropped out during his second year there. So if you wanted to know what his final level of education was, it's only middle school, really.
He actually made it this far by only having graduated from middle school.
Back when he was in middle school, he didn't get along with a lot of the people very well, and that carried over into his high school years. And so in the end, he decided to drop out before finishing there. He was actually doing really well in high school as well, but he couldn't handle the stress any longer. But even still, he was able to make it past all of that and is running his own business now. Alec is seriously a hard worker, right?
No. Hold on now, Lucia. That right there is, not okay. I can't believe it. Your little brother is one of those kinds of people.
Huh?
The fact that he never graduated from high school and has been living with your parents ever since is just messed up. All of that is just wrong. I didn't even realize that your family had to carry that baggage this whole time. I think that Alec is anything but special after hearing what you've told me.
Sid? My family doesn't really think of Alec in that sort of, well, unfortunate way. We think that he's doing great for himself, having only ever finished middle school. I mean, having your own business after that is insane, right?
What about any of that is amazing to you? It would be one thing if he'd graduated from high school, but the fact that he only ever made it to finishing middle school is depressing.
What? Depressing?
There are plenty of people that do well for themselves with only a high school diploma, but someone who's only managed to graduate from middle school. What makes this all worse is the reason for leaving school. How uncool. Did he really think he could use the excuse of not getting along well with others at school as a reason for dropping out like that? Jeez, it all makes me think that he's some sort of fat loser that sits at home all day, watching things like anime and crap. Oh, don't tell me he got picked on for that reason, right? That's probably why he's been sitting at home all time, living off your parents now, right?
Hey! Don't say things like that about my brother, Sid! He's seriously not that kind of person, alright? So please, stop talking badly about him, alright?
I'm sorry, Lucia. But can we just cool off this whole meeting with your family before we get married? I don't really feel like going over to your parents' house anymore to meet any of them.
Excuse me?
I thought it would just be your average household, but I think there's some kind of lost cause of a middle school graduate stuck in that place. I'm sorry, but I can't be seen going to a house like that. Just hearing from you that he sits at home all day and has been doing that since high school has put me off ever wanting to be around there.
Wait a second, Sid. I'm sure you just have the wrong idea of Alec right now, okay? My little brother is doing all sorts of amazing things with that business of his, and he does it all himself. I understand that he had a tough time in school when he was younger, but right now he's having a really fun life doing what he enjoys. And recently, he's even started getting into boxing. He'll go to the boxing gym every day around lunch during the week, and will come back looking like a pro boxer.
No matter how you try and save his image now, the damage has already been done. I want to have a little bit of time now just to think things over. So please just cancel everything regarding me coming there. And the same goes for us getting married, Lucia. I'd like some time to really think things over with you.
What? Wait a minute, Sid. If you're asking to hold things off for a little bit regarding our marriage, then that means we probably won't ever end up getting married, right?
Well, that might just be the case, actually. You already know that I graduated from a very prestigious university, and I'm working as an elite now for a very well-known company. And an elite like me having to live with a brother-in-law that's a shut-in. That's impossible. Having him even slightly related to me will stain my name in some way. Make me look like a fool myself.
Huh?
Now, I'm going to take some time to myself and think all of this over. When I have an answer for you, I'll text you. While I'm thinking about all of this, please, don't bother me. Hey, Lucia. When is Sid planning on coming over to introduce himself to me before you guys get married? He was supposed to come over a month ago, and he's put all of those plans on hold for way too long now. Both Mom and Dad have been nagging me about it for a while now, asking me to ask you about all of this.
I'm sorry, but I haven't really been able to get anything from Sid for a while now. I guess that's been causing Mom and Dad to get a little antsy about the whole thing, huh? But to tell you the truth, I'm not sure at all whether he even will be coming to see you guys anymore. Like I said, recently I haven't been able to get anything from him at all, and that even means texts from him.
Wait, is that right? Did you guys end up getting into a fight or something before the planned visit?
We didn't get into any sort of fight. We just happened to have a small discussion about some things. And, well, talk about your work and your education came up in that discussion. We were talking about how you run your own business and, well, talk about you only ever graduating from middle school came up, and that seems to have caused him to not want to come around you guys for a while.
No way. That's definitely the reason he's not going over now. I'm sure he's not the only one that would react that way to hearing someone like me running a business. I bet Sid thinks that I'm some sort of loser that sits at his parents' house all day and never goes out to do anything besides get food. Probably doesn't even believe I have a business.
What?
I'm being honest. Do you think people would really believe that some high school dropout could run a business of their own when sitting at their parents' home all day? It really doesn't help that I do live with Mom and Dad still, so I get what he's thinking. I bet he's worked up right now over having a brother-in-law like me, and probably wants to call off the marriage with you.
But I told Sid that you're working so hard to keep your business going, and that you do anything but sit around at home all day doing nothing. I even told him that your work is based in finances, and that it's a pretty good job. I even said that you go to the boxing gym now and train for a little while every day. I explained all of that to him.
Well, if you explained all of this to him and he still doesn't believe it, I think it's time you give up on wanting to marry him.
But that's...
I'm sorry that my situation is the reason for all of this happening to you. It's true that right after dropping out of high school, I did sit around at home for a year or two. And because of that, I've cost you your marriage to Sid.
You don't have to apologize for something like this. I should have done a better job explaining all of this to him so that he wouldn't get all confused about things.
Well, if you ever get the chance again to talk with Sid, you're more than welcome to explain to him what I do exactly for my work and what my income looks like. If you don't start giving him concrete facts about my life, then he'll never believe you.
Wait, are you sure about that? You told me before that you don't really want those outside the family knowing about your work and what income you have.
I understand that when people hear about the money I make, there will be a few that try to get on my good side just for the money. But I'd rather he knows about the money I make in order to save your guys' future together. And I'm sure he won't really be on me for my money, right? So I'll let you go ahead and tell him those hidden points about me, in order to keep him around.
Thank you, Alec. I'll hurry up and have a talk with him about this, and then have him over to see you all in no time.
Lucia, look, I've decided that I'm not willing to get married to you anymore, so let's call it all off. I'm not going to become the older brother of some shut-in loser.
Huh? Sid?
You really expect me to believe that a shut-in like him actually has a business of his own that he's making money from? I bet you only want me getting married to you for his sake anyway. You probably want me there so that when your parents are gone, I'll be next in line to care for him. Well, I'm not going to marry you just to be put to work caring for that useless idiot all the time.
Wait a minute. Can you just calm down for me? Sid, you have it all really wrong in your head. My little brother is not some shut-in like you keep saying he is. He is working a whole lot and is making quite a bit of money for himself.
You liar. There's no way a shut-in like him could have any type of job in financing. And if he really is making any money right now, it's probably under $1,000 a month. So he can't afford crap with that. But the only kind of financing he does anyways is financing to buy new figures or something like that. And as for the money he makes, it's probably from selling older collectibles that he keeps in that nasty room of his. If that's not the case, then he's probably getting paid a little by your parents to watch the place when they go out.
You're wrong. I'm asking you to please listen to what I have to say about him.
Shut the hell up. To tell you the truth, it doesn't matter what kind of work he does now, or the amount of money he's bringing in. What pissed me off is the fact that he's a high school dropout, who now lives as a shut-in inside your parents' home. I'm not a fan of such weak men. Not at all.
Alec isn't living here because he wants to, Sid. He's always been a very bright and happy boy all his life. The whole reason he doesn't go out much besides to go boxing and things like that are due to those that hurt him. He didn't enjoy being made fun of by everyone in his class, and he doesn't want to relive those memories anymore. Do you not understand how messed up it was for him back then? He was bullied to the point that he chose to leave school rather than face them all every day. Are you telling me you can't understand someone doing that?
I don't understand that whatsoever. If anything, I completely understand those that bullied him and think they did the right thing.
What?
There's always going to be that kid in school that gets picked on by everyone else, right? Back when I was in school, I would do the same thing to those that needed to be picked on. Whenever there was someone people found weird or just gross, would make fun of them until they changed their ways or left the school. I've been doing it to losers like your brother ever since elementary school. I even bullied kids in college for it.
You're lying, right? You did things like that, Sid?
And that sort of stuff has been going on forever, and is always done for the same reason. Oh, it's just so much fun watching those losers freak out as we picked on them. And a lot of the time we'd invite them out to play, then later ghost them to make them feel even worse. I'm sure that's the reason why your brother ended up leaving school and shutting himself into his room all the time, right?
You're the worst! So this is the kind of jerk you've always been then? And giving me that kind of excuse for always wanting to pick on others? And you think that the ones being picked on are to blame for it? You have no right saying that about Alec. Who the hell do you think you are saying crap like that about him?
Oh, shut the hell up, Lucia. Look, I'm sorry that your brother is a pile of garbage, but you've lost. So be quiet. I'll have you know that you and the rest of your family have no right talking back to me. An elite worker who's making far more than your whole family combined.
Huh?
The fact that he had to shut himself in because he could never fight back is so freaking hilarious. And the fact that you have him as a brother just makes you seem even worse. So you really thought I'd be able to marry you, when you're covered in the same filth your brother is now? I'm not joining you and your family, having to take care of a good-for-nothing loser like him. You and I will never get married, as long as you have that stain on your name.
Did you even know that my brother is making millions every year? You may think of him as some kind of unwanted baggage, but my family, he's the one taking care of us all. Just last year, he was willing to pay for my family's whole house to be renovated into something completely modern. And every year, he's inviting the whole family to join him in going overseas on vacation. He's always been thinking about the family more than himself, and as of right now, he's doing an amazing job running his business. To me, he's the one person I can say I'm really proud of.
I thought you said that your brother was a high school dropout. Never left your parents' house. So you think I'm going to believe that he's able to make millions every year? I bet your brother can't even make a tenth of my $100,000 a year that I'm making.
Stop calling my brother a frickin' shut-in right now! I told you already that he's running his own business and finances. He's also responsible for this new and improved house my parents and him live in, and for his job going so well for himself. And because of all that hard work he's put in, he's able to make over $1 million a year doing that job.
Really? You think he's able to make over $1 million a year when he never even made it through high school? There's no way that he's that incredible that he could actually do something like that.
And I understand why you can't believe it, but I'm not lying to you one bit. He's been out of school this whole time. And while everyone else has been doing all of that, he's been making money for himself and the family. He was able to work a part-time job right after dropping out doing video editing for content creators. And while doing that, he started to study economics in his own time and soon started to work on making investments. And recently, he's put a lot of what he's learned to work helping fund other small companies and working to make them grow.
Huh? He's even been doing all of that.
And do you want to know something else? One of those companies he helped out a little while back ended up giving him the rights to the company after the CEO sold it to him for a very fair price. And now he has multiple businesses under him that he's been managing.
Then that means he really has the chance to be making over $1 million a year. Even though he never made it out of high school. And even though he spent a lot of his time being a shut-in.
I don't want to hear that crap from a so-called elite worker like you anymore. You lost out to my brother, who is both younger than you and making way more than you every year. So I'm wondering how you became such an elite worker when all you care about is education someone has. It amazes me that a company like that is willing to employ someone who's that narrow-minded. If you'd like me to stop tearing into you like I am now, then stop trying to make a fool of my brother.
You're calling me narrow-minded.
You're the one that cannot accept that my brother is able to do so well just because he dropped out of high school. Yet you have nothing to show for that besides that job, where you're only making a small fraction of what my brother makes. I'm not going to sit here and let some loser like you make any more fun of my brother. Unlike you, my brother was able to do all of this on his own without anyone's help. So just shut the hell up, Sid. You are one of the least impressive men around compared to my brother, and you'll have to work a whole lot harder than him if you want to be on top.
I just heard this from Mom a second ago, but is it really true that you and Sid have broken up? This had to have been my fault, right? I'm sorry that my situation is what led to you and him getting married falling apart.
No worries, Alec. You're not even the problem in all of this. If anything, I'm thankful to you. It's because I have you around that I was able to see the true side of that loser. You really are the best little brother ever.
I'm sure that's not the case, right? Well, I just hope that the next man you find is a lot better than him. Hopefully it's a man that's a little more open-minded about me and is much nicer to you.
Well, hopefully I'll find that man because I'm planning to get right back at it looking for my new boyfriend. But it will take a little bit of strength on my end to get over what Sid said about us. And not just said, but has done.
Huh?
I actually went out today with a new man that I was introduced to by one of my friends. And as we were meeting up at a local cafe, Sid came in and started to ask me to get back together with him. And not only that, but he was trying to kiss your butt right in front of me with all the praise he was giving you. And it's not only in person that he's been doing all of this, but through text and call as well.
Well, if you can't seem to get him off your back, leave that all up to me. I'll make sure to figure out a way to get him to never come around you or the rest of us ever again.
Wait, you're going to do that, Alec? What do you have in mind?
Well, just leave that one up to me, okay? I just plan on going out and showing him what the man he makes fun of for being a high school dropout can really do. You really found a way to make me get a taste of my own medicine. You really do have a terrible little brother. You're the worst of the worst when it comes to people, the both of you. I'm not going to let you off easy after what you did to me.
Yeah, what is all this about now? I could have sworn that you're the worst of the worst when it comes to people.
I'm not the one that everyone hates. I've been a genius ever since I was a little boy, and everyone's loved me for that. I've also been the best at every sport that I've played and have never lost at anything. I was even able to go to Harvard, which nobody in this city can say for themselves. And above all of that, right now, I'm an elite working for a massive conglomerate, which makes me one of the top dogs. Yet tell me right now why the hell I'm being fired due to what your little brother did.
You're being fired?
All your brother is a stupid little dropout who has amounted to nothing. And not only that, but he's never left his house before, besides to get fast food. And he looks like his face is being used as a doormat. But it's because of him that I'm being fired. Wait, this is all what you deserve for being a rotten loser. So stop trying to blame me for getting what you ordered. And would you stop trying to yell at my sister for it? Huh? Nice to meet you, finally. And thank you for breaking up with my sister before you showed us all your true colors. I'm her little brother, Alec. I understand that you're very upset about being terminated from the company that you boasted so much about. But please don't forget that this is all happening because of your idiotic behavior. It's your fault for thinking that you could treat a customer of your company with such terrible manners. Excuse me. I can understand why you praised me as much as you did. The moment you found out that I'm making way more than you ever will now. You've been so desperate to get back into our lives that you've been asking the girl that you just broke up with for her hand in marriage again. And have even been trying to contact me in order to ask for my help. I like the part where you told me about all the experience you have in the business world, even though you've only ever been a paper pusher for that company. And after that, told me that you'd like to become partners now, with me doing most of the work. And that after you became my partner, you'd like my help getting back with my sister. Well, what's so wrong with asking you that? All of that seemed like a pretty good deal to you, right? I do more than just push papers at the office, and I know of a whole bunch of opportunities that would help your company out a bunch. And in return for that info, I'd be able to marry your sister, and we could all live happy and wealthy lives. We'd all get to be happy, and that's what matters, right? Are you being serious about that right now? What you've been trying to do isn't viewed so well in the business world. And that's why I ended up screenshotting everything you said to me and gave it all to the company that employed you to look over. I didn't think it would happen so fast, though. You getting fired, that is. You think you have any right doing this to me when you never had the balls to make it past middle school? Who cares that I was trying to make inside deals without the company being involved? If you would have just shaken my hand on the deal, then I'd be in the clear. My classmates from back in middle school were just like you two. Had you never told any of this to the teachers, we could have gotten away with bullying you. But of course, I wasn't going to let them continue to bully me. So I always brought it up with the adults so that they could handle everything. However, in return, that only made students hate me more. And as I went into high school, a lot of the teachers stopped helping me, saying that if I don't have evidence that I'm being picked on, they can't help me. That's why the only choice I had left was running away. Honestly, piles of crap like you are what made me really hate going to school. Shut the hell up. You lack of common sense shut in. No matter how hard you try and fight people like me, we will always come out on top, and you'll always stay losing. Unlike me, you never get to brag about the college you went to. And you don't even have any friends like me. I hope you never forget all those great memories that all those students gave to you back then. I understand that I'm a high school dropout, and that only ever making past middle school isn't something to brag about, but I'm the one making millions a year. So you acting like a schoolyard bully right now and calling these names isn't gonna hurt me. You're just some college alumni making around $100,000. And I'm a high school dropout making millions a year. I'm sure if anyone had to make a choice on what life to live, they'd be choosing my life. I get that. It's strange that I've never even met you in person yet. But even if we had met in person before things went downhill, you would have seen that not only does my money make me powerful, but so does my muscle. I've been around the house all the time doing work and such. So the only way to exercise has been going to the boxing gym and training there. I'm able to bench around 330 pounds. And looking in the mirror, I look like a tank. What? You're able to bench that much? So if you really want to keep calling me names and treating me like an idiot, come on over. We can settle all of this the old-fashioned way. You might be able to beat me with your educational background, but when it comes to pure physical might, I think I have you beaten. And when it comes to us picked-on losers that you love to hate, we go all out when it comes to fights. So come on over, right now. Or maybe I'll ask my sister to give me your address. Hey man, stop. Don't you freaking dare come anywhere near my house, you freak. And promise me that you'll never bother my sister or I ever again, okay? Then you won't ever have to worry about me coming out to find you ever again. I'm gonna take your silence as an agreement to that promise. Good day to you, Sid.
Due to my little brother Alec taking care of the situation for me, I never had to hear from Sid ever again. And from the rumors I've heard about him, he's run away from here and made his way back to his hometown to try and hide. But back in his hometown, there are a lot of classmates that he used to pick on back in school living there, and they all hate his guts. He even went to one of their class reunions but couldn't find anyone that cared to be his friend anymore, or even help make him feel human. When talking with Alec about all the rumors I've heard, he replied to me saying that when he went to his class reunion one time, he showed up in one of his nicer suits with a Rolex watch on and everything to show off to them. And after getting all their jaws to drop, they began asking him about his money. But before they could get an answer, he left the place and went back home to play some video games. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.